Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Steam. I'm your host, Ramon Scott, joining you for a preview of today's games. And before we get started, I have an announcement I'd like to make. I was called by management last night and told that Mindy wouldn't be joining us on the show any longer here. Hopefully, that's not a deal breaker for you folks, and hopefully, we can spend more time together here ultimately on the show. But before moving forward, I just really want to extend my sincere gratitude and thanks and love to Mindy and her family, and especially to Jerry for making it possible over the last year for me to spend so much time with Mindy. She's not still part of the still part of Team Steam. I feel like haven't been able to speak to her, but I send my love to her and her family, and always will spend time. I think you'll see her more of her. You may see more of her here in her channel as well. She does very well over there, and maybe I'll make it over there one day too. But she'll be, still part of Tony's picks certainly moving forward. We're gonna promote the heck out of her picks every day, so we don't have to belabor it too much in the chat. But just really want to thank her. I mean, where I can't believe I'm really bummed right now. I'm really sad. It's gonna be tough here with the moving forward with the show. Hopefully, you guys can pull me through this today. I know we had the 10 days together. Uh, when Mindy was out, and but it just was I wasn't able to get it right. Wasn't able to get the format right with Mindy, and just didn't work out. And I'm so sorry that it hasn't, because I need someone here to talk to in the morning and get great sports ideas and great bets and things like that. And I hopefully have plays here today. I have a show planned out, and I'm just going to go with the format with play. May give you two plays. I don't know, one play or two, promote the website and everything that we like to do here on the show. And yeah, I talk a little long, and maybe that I made the show go a little long, and just they wanted to keep it shorter and shorter. Finally, was able to bring it down to what they wanted to. I was unsure of the timing of the show, but let's just move forward and hopefully keep Team Steam going. We'll be in the Discord together and all that. So thank you so much, everybody, for all your support. And if it is a deal breaker for you, I want to thank you for your time and support over the last year or so. Some of you may not have been with us since the beginning, but basically we've probably done 300 shows together. It feels like that's incredible in this business. Certainly, and I see your retention rates as well. An average of 19 and a half minutes per show on sometimes a 75 to 90 are very, very good statistics. I They tell me a little bit something else, but I've researched it pretty well. We have a high retention rate on this show. We're giving actionable information, and Mindy's contribution was absolutely invaluable. So hopefully, we're going to continue to get her videos and updates here. Let me just a little bit here with my little graphic. It's a little outdated there. It has Twitter. What is Twitter? But I don't have a good graphics. I'm going to get you a graphics package and everything too. So thank you, everybody, for your support. I want to be here at this time. Certainly, let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com where you'll find our premium picks. And let me talk about the handicappers that did well yesterday. Before we get started, we're going to talk Major League Baseball. There's one game in the WNBA, and I'm going to preview some college football. I talked about those matchups yesterday with Mindy. I gave some statistics. If you remember, talking about how there had never been, it had been 16 years or so since there had been six top 20 teams, 6 games featuring top 20 teams facing each other. So this is about as big a weekend as there has been. So, all right. Let me head over to our website, Tony'sPicks.com. We find our premium picks. Our best picks are over there at Tony'sPicks.com. I'm going to give you a bunch of free winners here. You're going to help. Sometimes sometimes you'll have to put me on a game, maybe. I don't have that other support from Mindy. So look at the day the crew had over there at Tony's Pigs. Nick Lagaretos went 7-1, nearly 600 units of profit. Ralph Raymond 5-0, nearly 400 units. Tony T up there 1-0-1. I had a couple of winners: Joseph Schultz, Daniel, everybody here in the green, and Tiffany and Mindy as well, and the GM and Tony, everybody. I think everybody, maybe one or two, didn't crack the leaderboard, but a good day for the Cappers. It was baseball, right? It was baseball. There was some WNBA. I didn't have a premium, and well, Mindy got the best of me in that last game. Certainly Dallas smashed. Oh no, I had the over there, so we gave out a double winner. How about that? Sent it out on a high note there in that Washington game. She was right on as well with that one. I actually gave out the under and lost. It went overtime. We would have had another double winner right there. But anyways, Sean 15-7 plus 7 units. Daniel here, good percentage over the last 7 days. Tony, he has been so steady over the last, I want to say it's going on near 40 days now, actually, for Tony this run. Nick Vartini, and I'm hanging out up there at up a nickel this week. There it is. Okay, Tony up 13 and a quarter units over the last 30 days here at Tony's Picks. Collins nearly 1,200. Ralph up a dime. Nick Bartini up 700. Not been okay for the last month or so as well. So check us out over at tonyspicks.com where you'll find our premium picks. Click on the premium picks tab and scroll down. You'll find 3-packs, 5-packs, and 7-packs from our team of handicappers over at tonyspicks.com. And today, Collins has a 3-pack already up in Major League Baseball. $15 pick in there from Nick Bartini. It's a day schedule. He noted it right there. Nick Lagaretos has his best bet up for the action today, as does Collins. I'll have my premium picks to the subscribers and package. We've got to get rolling here, right, with this day card. I'm not going to cover every single game, but no doubt most of the games, probably everyone that has teams involved in the playoffs, even the Padres, right? Talked about that. I'll talk about it when we get there. Good morning to Dre. Good morning to Gary. Good morning to Thomas and Jay Smoove here today joining us. John Franz, M. Looks. Thank you, everybody, for your support. And thank you, Zordon. Thank you, Takia. Hello, you guys. Yeah, we're going to see some, hopefully, more Mindy. But look, it's she's got a family, she's got a life. I have hopefully you guys, and I have sports, and I just sit here watching games and handicapping and bet. It's a lot. You know what I'm there. Airplane boop. Where have you been? And a Beanie Man. So that's just how it's going to be here moving forward. Let's start to. I think. Let me see. What am I for? We've greeted everybody. We've gone over the thing. Yeah, yesterday. All right. There we go. Let's take a look at Major League Baseball to start the day. Because, like I said, this is a day card. I mean, we are just 3 hours away from the action here. Some games I'm thinking of passing. I don't know. I'll never pass. You guys will put me on a side, won't you? But sometimes I might give out 2 plays. Again, just saving my premiums here. And boy, it's going to be tough. Man, Mindy and I thought should have covered more of the handicapper leaderboards. Mindy and I this year are the top handicappers, I think, on the site. That partnership. So it just goes, it's amicable situation. See some comments there here. A little tough, right? I mean, tough. I get up about 2:30, 3:30, stamp on to do the show. So I want to be right here at this time, and so thankful for the opportunity. Also, before just one more moving forward, because I know they might be watching today. So thankful for the opportunity to be on this particular channel, and hopefully give you just great sports information, a lot of sports information. All right, I think that's enough of that. I'm bummed, man. Believe me, this is going to be tough. All right. Philadelphia is going to be taking on Atlanta here in an early one. We saw Atlanta, man, they were seemed like they were rounding the bases constantly yesterday, putting up that big number 9-3 on the Phillies yesterday. In this one, you got Nola going up against Bryce Elder. Kind of reminds me of the back of the days when we did that bitch for those 10 days, and I was scrambling to do everything while she intro the game. All right, we'll just have to bear with me on that. That's probably what takes so long. All right. So in this one with the Phillies and the Braves, Nola been struggling here of late. He's got a 9 ERA in his last 3 starts. Bryce Elder's been hot. He's 4-0 with a 2.97 ERA in his last 6 starts. This number is looking pretty manageable at $1.45. We know in the playoff situation right now that, we know Atlanta's very, very comfortable. And, well, Philadelphia, they might be comfortable too, given their standings currently kind of controlling the wild card situation. Atlanta, they're comfortable, I think, here against the Dodgers. Only a collapse would kind of give them. Philadelphia's given a little bit back of late to those group of teams. They're 3 games ahead of Arizona currently. Atlanta has won just one of their last 5 games. That game yesterday, since they clinched the division. Braves have gone over in 12 of their last 17 games. Nola's gone over in 8 of his last 10 starts. And, Elder's gone over in 8 of his last 12 starts. Braves have won 4 straight at home with Elder. I gotta like this price. Maybe you think they might mash today, given the run production yesterday. Nola out there today. That number hangs out at 9.5. I might end up there, kind of coming in. I know Phillies dog on the road. You're thinking over. Braves a home. I'll go with the Braves right now to $1.45, and we'll get your comments from the chat, if any. Not too much going on. Appreciate you guys for your picks, Trey and Takia. All right, the Twins are taking on the Reds here in this one. You have the Reds shut out yesterday by Maeda. For the Reds, they're embroiled in that hot race right now, but they are a game back, and in that little, we're calling it a 5-team chase. The Giants are falling rapidly, and the Reds are going to need to win games right now. All 3 teams ahead of them won yesterday, so they probably could need this one. They certainly do. Bailey Ober comes in with a 3.67 ERA in this one against Hunter Green with a 4.43 ERA. I would think that on the road here, seeing what the Twins did to him yesterday with that 7-0 victory, over 6 ERA in his last 5 starts, but the Twins have gone 8-4 with Ober on the mound in his last 12 starts. Hunter Green, 2.65 ERA of late, his last 3 starts. The Reds are 5-1 with Hunter Green in his last 6 starts. The Reds have won 6 of their last 9 games. Ober's gone over in 7 of his last 9 starts, but these pitchers are performing well right now. And if I've got a 9, let me check that on the screen. Look, in fact, that line seems to be moving here. Let me just give an update, because it certainly has moved to the under here over the last hour. These lines are about 2 hours old. And the move here is to the under. I think that's the way this game's going to go. I think we're going to get an under here, and at 9 runs, I think I'm willing to play this under here. Green in a little bit of form here, the Green we expect. And I don't know, I think this situation does tend to be a strong under here with Minnesota on the road. I'm going to verify that right now. Reds in this one. Look, we know this is a crucial situation. Why the Reds haven't been able to play well at home this season, unbeknownst to me, I mean, they could just play 500 ball. They'd be in this situation right now. I'll say Solo, hello, he's on the Reds today. Who banging? Thank you for your greeting as well. All right, so I'm on the under here in this one, and I'm also going to go with Minnesota. Let's give out a double winner here. I'll tell you this, handicappers, I've already seen some of the capper picks rolling in here, and it's Cincinnati. The cappers are on Cincinnati today. I'm not sure that's going to be me. I'm going to try Minnesota and over here on the road. Yeah, Green's been better, but after the 7-0 win yesterday, maybe the Reds feeling the heat a little bit right now, falling uh, out of that chase just a little bit. All right, Red Sox and the Rangers here. The Rangers are in that three-way pursuit in the American League right now with uh, Toronto, with Seattle. They're the third team. It looks like we know, two of them are going to get in. That's what we've been talking about right now. Seattle and Texas in a dead heat, one game behind Toronto. Wow. In this one, you've got Bayo here going for the Red Sox. He's got 3.71 ERA this season, and going up against John Gray with a 1.4 ERA so far this season. Bayo has a 5 ERA, however, in his last 4 starts. The Red Sox are 7-3 in his last 10 starts. Rangers are back to, now they've lost 3 of 4. Gray's got a 6.75 ERA in his last 4 starts, but probably going to be on the Rangers here in this one. They got the win yesterday, 6-4. Eovaldi was a little wild, but tell you what, handicappers liked the Rangers yesterday. It seemed like handicappers were on the over yesterday. Haven't seen much from them today, but I know I want to be on the Rangers here. I think I'm going to take a favorite with the Rangers here. Steam came in on the over. I don't see any reason why this one wouldn't go over today here. 8.5 is it still 8.5? 8.5 over 25. I think that has me interested as well. Can I go Rangers and over here in this one? Let's see what you guys are up to here. Takia is on the Red Sox. Charles Sharp is on the Red Sox. Takia, you are the best at making sure. I mean, you've done it time and time, but actually the Washington and Chicago game we're skipping because it's insignificant to the championship standings. But I will tell you this, I have seen handicappers in the industry today on the over in that game, and the Steam came in on the under. So a little bit of information at least there for you. And here is Dre on Boston in that one. And hello to Mac. All right, so I'm going another double play if I can here with Texas and the over. I think I've got enough plays out. I have enough premium action, and want to just try to give a little bit and get your input as well. Because there are a couple games I'm not as sure of. How about Baltimore taking on the Astros? Is it really a pick 'em here with Kyle Bradish? Oh, why don't I have? I'm sorry about that. Where's Christian Javier? Let's give him his just due. There we go. There we go. And I've got this one at a pick right now. Actually, I've got this one at Houston, minus $1.15 and the total 9. So Javier could have just typed in him as a favorite in this one against the Orioles following yesterday's, let's call it a mashing, 9-4 Orioles. Handicappers liked the Orioles yesterday. The steam was on Houston, so didn't quite go the Sharps' way necessarily in that one. Today, though, I know that their cappers are going to be coming in on Baltimore here in this one. You'd think Bradish, a 3.12 ERA, Javier, 4.74 ERA. Bradish has been good, though, keeping that low ERA going of late. His last 4 starts, he has a 2.9 ERA. The Orioles are 7-1 in Bradish's last 8 starts. The Astros have lost 6 of their last 8 games. The Orioles are now on a 4-game winning streak. Javier, a 6.63 ERA in his last 4 starts. I'm expecting these pitchers to have a pretty good outing here. Look, Orioles have been involved in a lot of high scoring affairs. This kind of situation where it does go over, but and with all those runs yesterday, I feel kind of contrarian here. Orioles have gone over in 19 of their last 30 games, and Bradish has gone over in 6 of his last 9. But I'm going to expect these guys. I'm going to expect Javier to be in better form in this one, and I'm going contrarian for sure here. I'm going to be on the under here in this one. Bradish he's been good. If anything, I mentioned, I said to Kia, oh, well, that game's not, this game, I don't think Houston's going to be catching Baltimore, and I don't think Houston's going to be giving up that lead to Minnesota necessarily. So Baltimore's involved in a chase of their own. They're a little bit more motivated here than Houston, the way I see it. Baltimore having moved ahead of Tampa Bay in the wild card in the AL East race by 2.5 games. So they have the slight motivation here. The Astros, yeah, this little slip up is costing them a little bit, but I don't know if they can fall from this position. Dre says, take his O's and the over to Kia on the O's, Solo on the O's. It's all about the O's for you guys. Hey, I just want to mention right now, the board is lighting up with Texas Rangers money right now as we speak. I'm showing the Rangers going up here now to as high as $1.50. I know we gave them out. I know you guys are hitting it hard because I like the Rangers there. So appreciate the steam there. Obviously, the timing can only be that we affected the line. Max says he's on the O's because this is a high-powered show, as you know, and we're going to have to do it together moving forward. All right. I'm going to give out the under here in this one, and maybe I'm hesitant here on the side right now. Maybe I got a premium, but you guys are all over the O's, man. And like I said, handicappers in this industry going to be on the Orioles today. So you can bet on it. All right, the Mariners and the A's. I flubbed up this one yesterday, tried to give out the A's on a video here, but I really was, the price. It might have been a price play here, but now you have Kirby here against Estes. Estes here making his major league debut. He's a pretty good prospect, and let's see. The Mariners here currently at 245, 8 over 20. That's worth updating. I mean, that's already a 20-cent move on the Mariners in a game that they need. And the A's have, let's take a look. There we go. Mariners, yeah, up to 245. I think that's worth updating. A 20-cent move here over the last hour or two on the Mariners in this one. Kirby has a 4.75 ERA in his last 6 starts, and the Mariners have lost 5 of those last 6 starts. The A's have now lost 6 straight games. Seattle's 8-12 in their last 20. Maybe it's a bullpen game, but I mean, Estes has pitched enough. I mean, I would expect him to, go, at least once through the lineup here, whatever he can do. I know that the run line is going to be a pretty popular play with handicappers across the industry, talking about the Mariners laying the run line. I kind of want to take Estes here, but the A's couldn't get anything going yesterday in the game. I want to come back with them today, but I mean, Castillo was just too good. Blackburn wasn't able to do it. So I know you got, okay, Takia on the over, and Dre is on Seattle, and hello to Darren today. And, okay, well, I'm going to try the A's again, you guys. I'm going to see how this rookie does. This will be a free play here on the show. I'll take him on the run line here. What is that run line at? Plus a run and a half, at plus $1.20 or so. I'm going to try the A's here on the run line as a big dog today. We know Seattle has the motivation. A's can play spoiler. That's all there is to it in this one. Seattle tied with Texas. We already mentioned it. Toronto's been the hot team in that wild card chase. They have now bolted to that 1-game lead. So, kind of leaving the Yankees out of it. I think they're done, right? So 7 back, Boston 8.5 back. Okay. Oh, and then Look says he wants Seattle as well. I can't. I'm trying the A's here. I've been chalky on this card so far, I think. A little bit chalky. Giants here and Diamondbacks with Logan Webb on the road here, about $1.75, $1.50. I'm throw it out the window. The Diamondbacks are favored now, so there's definitely been a shift to Arizona in this one. Maybe $1.15 or so now on the Diamondback side. You might actually be seeing some pick'ems or just barely shaded those penny sites. It'll just be flipping over to the Diamondbacks here, it looks like, over the last few minutes. And the Diamondbacks are $1.15 now, and the total is 7.5 over 20. So the great thing about this game is where these teams stand in this wild card race right now. There's no doubt that they're hotly contested in it, but San Francisco's a team that's fallen kind of out of the picture at 3 games back. Arizona, they are in second in the wild card, but they're only a game ahead of Miami. They're half a game ahead of the Cubs. Arizona and the Cubs are in as it stands right now. Miami and Cincinnati are out. The Diamondbacks figure to be a very, very popular play with handicappers today across the industry for sure. At this reasonable price, it's probably going to put me on Arizona as well. That's the way I wanted to go. And if we're talking about $1.15 here, I'm going to be on Arizona. Webb and Kelly, I would expect a good matchup here, even though these guys have Kelly has a 4.33 ERA in his last 6 starts. But Arizona has a 4-game winning streak. The Giants are the team that's struggling right now. I took the Giants as a premium yesterday and misfired on that, but still had the 2-1 day. But nonetheless, let's see here with Takia here, Arizona, and the over. Oh, Mac joined me on the A's. Nice. Webb has a 1.74 ERA in his last 3 starts. He's getting no run support. 1-5 are the Giants in his last 6 starts. Webb has gone under in 9 of his last 13 starts, and Kelly's gone under in 8 of his last 11 starts. Of late, these teams have been going over, but I think up here in this park, I think we're headed for an under today. I've already seen handicappers on some of the sites on the under here. I think they're right. I'm not, I want you to support all those cappers out there, but it's going to be Arizona and under for handicappers today, and it's going to be Arizona and under for me. Dre says, how about a no-run first inning today in this ball game? James says, give me the Diamondbacks. Well, for Webb, he's allowed a run in the first inning in, I'd say 7 of his 31 innings. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's not great than not terrible. How's that? For Kelly, he's allowed a run in the first inning in 6 of 27. So about the same percentage there, I would say 21-ish, if you combine 21.7. All right. And so I'll go Arizona and the under here. I'm going to give out more plays, I think, in these day games here. Maybe give the premiums out at night. Sales are more at night. That's one thing my studies say. All right, the Rockies and the Padres. Well, of course, we're including the Padres now. Yeah, of those other teams in the American League, they're just as far, the Padres are just as far back as those teams pretty much. Actually, the Padres have come much closer. But, of course, the reason why we're talking about the Padres here is because I keep adding to my position, and the odds have not changed since Friday when I started placing basically the change that was left over in all of my accounts on the Padres to win the World Series. You know, just a couple of bucks here and a couple of bucks there, but they're like 10,000 to 1. And now they're on this winning streak. So all of a sudden, I'm wondering what kind of equity I could get if somehow my Padres, which I've faded all year, they've won 6 straight. They're still 5.5 out. They need to win every single game from this point forward. Promise you. I mean, and it still might not be enough because there's too many teams ahead of them. I mean, basically, they, like I said, trail the Cubs. I thought they'd have to pass the Giants, pass the Reds, pass Miami. But everyone agrees. Even I agree. And I've made fun of my team all year for the money falling out of their back pockets while they're playing baseball and, have to hand the money to the umpire because they can't fit any more in their pockets. But right now, the Padres are on a season-high 6-game winning streak. And, it's basically huge, long odds. So this is the time I'm investing some of my winnings on the Padres to go all the way. Hey, I want to say hi to He-Man-Shoe Vlogs. Airplane Boop says Padres and the over in this one. I haven't even previewed the game, and I'm ready to look. I'm already fully invested in the Padres every game. They're 265. They're priced like they're going to win the World Series. The Rockies actually look like a good price. Just start my hedge today. Colorado's won 5 of their last 8. They were getting no hit yesterday by Cy Young candidate Blake Snell. Why wouldn't he win? I guess it's Snell and Strider. Who else could it be? I mean, amazing that Snell is, come, and I was making fun of him. There was no doubt he was only going 5 innings all year, but as he got better, he could go longer because, hey, if you're throwing no hitter, you can even go 7 innings if you're Blake Snell. They always have the speculation and the talking heads and the just go until you give up the hit. Why not? Snell said he couldn't do it. He could not physically do it. He could not continue in the game. I mean, it's just like he was like, and Snell's about as real a guy as they come. Even in his travails, he was honest in his assessment of his performances. It wasn't terrible in the beginning, even through his, early season. Well, call it a slump now. He was just getting going, I guess. Tequila Rockies K-Prop, like Telugo to strike out many Rockies. Is that possibly here? I think the price is too high. I mean, I could only recommend the Rockies here, I'm sure. Lugo is part of this whole surge of the Padres. He's 3-0 with a 3.15 ERA in his last 6 starts. Padres have, just 40 and 36 at home. They've gone over in 16 of their last 25 games. Colorado dismal, 22 and 55 on the road. I mean, maybe the Padres will continue to smash, but doesn't look like a great price at all. I'll just take the under in this one. I mean, you got Rockies on the road, should go under. They've gone under in 6 of their last 9. Anderson has gone over in 8 of his last 10, but I'm going to go under here. If it's not, is it still? No, it's 8.5. And I want to be totally totally transparent like we are at Tony'sPicks.com. And this total is definitely 8.5. 8.5 over at minus 115. Yeah. So that's significant. That's a pretty big move, actually, to the under. There was widely reported steam that did come in on the under in this game. So I'll give out the under here. And you could do worse to check out what I've been talking about. The books have started. The book that I'm playing at has not necessarily moved the Padres odds all week. So I just keep throwing my chain, 765, 452. Right now it's like really like it's vacation time if the Padres, and probably be the best thing ever as a sports fan. For me personally, Mets and Marlins here. Senga going up against Perez. Wow. Big game for the Marlins and a big-time pitching matchup. This is the game of the day for sure, especially after we saw the excitement in yesterday's game. So I had a big-time sweat in that one on the under as a premium. And well, it was 3-1. They came back to tie, and then they win it in the ninth, 4-3. The Marlins get that key win to stay hot in this race. But man, this is going to be a matchup, isn't it? Senga, 2.22 ERA in his last 7 starts, 4-1 for Senga in those starts. He's won 7. The Mets have won 7 of his last 10 starts. For Perez, he's got a 3.9 ERA in his last 6 starts. Miami's 5-2 in their last 7 right now, and looking pretty good. This looks very, very generous to me. Got to take Miami. Come on. Love Senga, but the Marlins found a way last night. This is a huge game for the Marlins. You know, like I said, the Mets, yeah, maybe the Mets are sometimes, and I would rather take them as a dog in a team not involved in the race. You saw how exciting it was when the Marlins won last night, but not Daryl. He likes the Mets. Hi, Daryl. And Dre as well, Ron Sanders. Arizona under in the first 5, under 4.5. Okay, thanks, you guys. I'll take Miami in this one, and I guess it's probably gonna land on 7. I'm gonna give it out. I'm gonna give out the under. It's a free play. I think. Look, it was 4-3 yesterday. It looks like to me a great starting pitching matchup today. So maybe Perez is hit the wall, whatever. He's gone under in 13 of his last 16 starts. So, all right. I'll take Marlins. Marlins stronger. I'll give out the under as well. How about the Angels and the Rays in this one with Reed Detmers going up against Aaron Savali? Now you got one of those $2 favorites here, probably higher by now, 210. Here's a pretty significant move here. I don't think it's steamy, but let's check it out. The total there a couple hours ago was 8 under 20. Now it's 8 over minus 115. So this has definitely been a move to the over. I'm not sure I'm buying it. I might need to investigate this one further with you. I just want to mention one game that we mentioned earlier is taking some serious action right now on the under. We mentioned the Reds and the Twins, and we said we wanted to go under in that game. Well, right now, this total is moving on the under here on the morning steam. Still 9.5s at most spots, but I'm sorry, 9.5. 9 under 20. I'm showing the circa now at 8.5 over 20. That would have been the other way. But right now, showing books, DraftKings 9 under 20, major offshore book 9 under 25, downtown Vegas book 8.5 over 20. This one is on the move lower. Grade me at 8.5 if you have to. With that Twins Reds game, I still like it under as we moved another line here on the morning steam, but that's what we're reporting to you as well. Live steam moves, no doubt about it. One other game that did move just within the last 12 minutes or so was against us. It looks like the Sharps have come in here on Philadelphia against Atlanta today. All right, let's continue on with the Angels here going up against the Rays with Reed Detmers and Aaron Savali. Yeah, 210. And I'm showing right now the total is 8 over 15. Like I said, a bit of a move here. I saw openers as low as 7.5 over 15. So I think that is significant line movement. I think it is something of note. I'm not necessarily in support of it, but I get it. I mean, the Rays at home, they're going over quite a bit, and the Angels are going over quite a bit on the road as well. So if you look at kind of the way things are going with the two teams currently in the matchup, let me see here. Thank you for your patience. Detmers right now, 3.57 ERA in his last 3 starts. So he's been pretty solid, but he's gone over in 6 of his last 7 starts. The Angels have gone over in 5 of their last 7 games. Savali's gone over in 4 of his last 5 starts. And the Rays, they're kind of trending over a little bit right now. They've gotten some good pitching of late. I kind of like the value in the under now. I have seen handicappers giving out the Rays here today on the run line at some sites across the industry. I'm seeing it come over here on the forums a little bit. So I'm gonna take the Rays on the run line to smash the Angels. I think this might be Savali got a 6 ERA in his last 3 starts, but Tampa Bay's won 6 of his last 6 of his 8 starts since here with the Rays. So this is big game for the Rays. They still feel like they can catch Baltimore in the American League East chase. I'm sure they're right now. What did I say? 2.5. Let's see. They're I think 2.5 back. Maybe I should look, but I know Baltimore. We know they did the job against them. So I want to say it's 2.5 games. Nonetheless, Rays need to win. I think they'll win. I think this one does go under as well in this one. Now at 8, I like it at 8. James Avery's on the Rays. Takia is on the Rays, and Joshua Potts says take the Rays. All right. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with me here today in the chat and making me feel good here a little bit. All right, Blue Jays and Yankees here. Michael King, Kevin Gosman. I had the Jays yesterday as a premium play. Why not? I mean, they went out. They had a great pitching effort and dominated the game with big hitting, and won the game 7-1 with Kikuchi. So we had it. We recommended the under as well. I mean, recommended not on the site as an under, but we gave it out. And handicappers, they were on the Blue Jays yesterday as well. I think they're going to be on the Blue Jays again today. I think they're just going to roll with these guys at this point. This looks like a pretty good price. I expect Gosman. Look, King has good numbers. Maybe we will see a good pitching matchup here. Gosman still, I mean, people can be against him, but he still has a 3.4 ERA. And I would expect that, in this, like I said, Toronto's really embroiled in this battle right now, here at the end of the season in this playoff chase. So Gosman has a 4 ERA in his last 5 starts, so a little bit of regression here of late. Toronto, though, on that 4-game winning streak. Yankees were hot coming into the series. I'm expecting this at Yankee Stadium. Is it 7.5 under 20 still? It is. Toronto minus $1.20, 7.5 under. I think it's going under. King's gone under in 4 of 6 starts. Yankees have gone under in 14 of their last 21. Toronto's gone under in 4 straight. So I'm going to go under with Toronto and the Yankees. Probably come in on Toronto again. Why not? At $1.20. Let's take it. Let's take Toronto and under. Let's get some high volume today on this first show. Put me to the test. Hello to Rick today. Hello to Juan as well. All right. Well, you could do worse than having the Brewers and the Cardinals here late season if you can have the Cardinals out of it and the Brewers in position to make a championship run. I said it. I think the pitching might just be, I don't know. I'm just saying they could contend with a little bit with some of the pitching, I think, right now, starting pitching. Hauser hasn't been too great, 4.53 ERA, but he's profitable. He'll get you 0.2 units per start. He's a profitable pitcher, and he's made a lot of starts. So your in games definitely with Hauser. Going up against Zach Thompson here, 4.34 ERA for Thompson. Thompson has a 5.19 ERA in his last 3 starts. Cardinals, like I said, they've been playing pretty good. Yesterday, Milwaukee got it done. Should have rolled with them. The steam came in on St. Louis. Maybe I was swayed by that a little bit, but handicappers loved Milwaukee yesterday. Haven't seen that necessarily from them here today, but look at the price. Is it really minus $1.05 or so for Milwaukee? I'm interested. It's closer to a pick now. Let's call it a pick. Let's be fair about this. Probably going to get no better than a pick 'em, but I'm interested here in Milwaukee after yesterday's 7-3 victory. Like I said, Milwaukee, certainly their position is secure. I guess that's the best way to put it. I mean, they're leading the division at this point. They're comfortably, I think, ahead of the Cubs. Could be a disaster, but believe it, we got basically a week and a half to go. It'd have to be a pretty severe turnaround. Cubs are involved in their own pennant battle, so they're playing comfortably with confidence. And hey, it's never going to be too much motivation to get up for playing the St. Louis in September when you're heading to the postseason. I expect Hauser to have a good outing here. Brewers now won 20 of their last 29 games. They've gone under in 7 of their last 10. Hauser, Brewers have won. Okay, let's just take the Brewers for sure, and feel like it's going to be an under. I know the steam came in on the over. Maybe that's driven it up here a little bit. I'm showing 8.5 over. I'm showing 8.5 over 25 at some spots right now. So Brewers and under for me, if I may. So, I wonder if I have any premiums left. Dre's on Milwaukee. Takia's on Milwaukee. Joshua's on Milwaukee. Takia, No, I think we've got. I thought I loaded up the Pirates and the Cubs. Let me see here. But you're right. I mean, we wouldn't want to skip the Cubs. So maybe, missed when Takia wasn't here on some of those. You're right, Takia. I did have. Why would I not list that game? The Cubs, it's an important game for a lot was going on. Okay, how about a lot was going on with me over the last few hours preparing for this particular show. Made a little omission. That's all. It's Mitch Keller going up against Justin Steele. Is Steele the man to get that Cy Young Award? Steele here is $1.70, and the total is 8 under 20. Only if I could have Takia do the graphics, fancy graphics. We could have some of those shows have the team colors and the logos. I'm left with this $22 a month program. At least we can get it to you, and I can type while I talk. All right. So in this one, Mitch Keller going up against Justin Steele. You got $1.70 here for the Cubs. Total 8 under 20. The reported steam did come in on the under in this one. It did open as high as 8.5. Keller has a 3 ERA in his last 5 starts. The Pirates have gone under in 6 of their last 9. The Cubs, they've lost now 4 of their last 5. They've gone under in 16 of their last 21 games. Steele's been ultra consistent. He has a 2.77 ERA in his last 6 starts. The Cubs went 13-3 in his last 16 starts. Justin Steele. But the Pirates playing some of their best ball again, similar to that one streak they had earlier in the season. They've won 12 of their last 20 games. So Maybe Keller can compete here. Maybe we can get a one-run game out of this. It was only 14-1 yesterday. That's gotta fire you up a little bit. Man, the Cubs were like taking victory laps with those home runs, weren't they? The way the Cubs games look on right that I don't know. I mean, the other networks have some high def, but when you got it coming at you from Wrigley Field and how crisp and clear those cameras, that they got the camera at home plate, the guys crossing the plate, the Cubs fans are going crazy. It was just all Cubs yesterday. Shout out to our Chicago gang. But I don't know. Maybe the Pirates can compete. I'll just give out the under. I'm scared. I'm giving out so many plays. 14-1 was pretty brutal. I'd expect a team to have a little bit of something to come back and stay within a run line possibly here, but nobody's going to take the Pirates, and probably not even me. Here's maybe I will. Maybe it's only $1.70. I mean, maybe I don't know. I guess I could take 2.5 runs because I probably feel like I want to be involved with the Pirates. I want a team coming off a 14-1 loss when the teams are taking. Like I said, the Cubs are. I don't know what they're celebrating. Yeah, I mean, they're in position right now. That's not what they were celebrating, but again, they're a team. They are a half game ahead of Miami and 1 game ahead of Cincinnati right now. Every game is must win. So tough maybe to back the Pirates. Even maybe if the Cubs weren't involved in the race, I could, confidently say I want to take the Pirates. Because I do want to kind of take the Pirates. They're 5-1 in Keller's last 6 starts. And they're playing decent ball. They should be, throw it out. Throw last night's out. Here's the Brewers and the Cardinals. Wait, no. Sorry about that. Was because of thank you. You know why that was, because we had to type in. Okay, one more game. Because I think the other game we're skipping to Kia is Cleveland and KC, right? Did you mention that? But we skipped that one because both teams are out of it. I will say this about Cleveland and Kansas City game is that the reported steam did come in on the under, but you have actually two of the, well, I want to be kind, their parents might be one, but two of the biggest losers this season in Giolito and Greinke, unit-wise. They're both giving away, lose about 0.4 units per game, over 4.4 units per start. All right, here's the Tigers and the Dodgers. There's no stopping the Dodgers. They found a way to win yesterday. Close game, though, 3-2. So maybe it'll be close here again today. It doesn't feel like I want to lay 250. Well, it's down. It's 240-ish maybe at the square books right now. The total has definitely moved lower. There is widely reported steam on the under here. And it's gone down to 8.5 under, even 25. I'm going to leave it up at 8.5 under 20, but it feels like it's even going lower than that. A lot of steam, a lot of steam. Feels like a lot of steam. There are line moves, and I've tried to characterize them by judging what the line services are sending out as reported steam. There's two kind of major services that send you the steam, and I get them both. So when I report it to you, it's come from one of those two services that, I know I charge for my picks, but and some people don't like these. So I do. I like to watch line moves. In fact, one game that moved against us in the last couple of minutes, there's been a steam move that came in on the Orioles and the Astros over, and I like the under in that game. So, hey, once in a while it goes in my favor, and we've got the under in that one. They also steamed that Mets game over today. They might be just playing a number there. I certainly, you're not going to tell me that Senga and Perez aren't at least going to have some, I don't know, maybe the bats are going to come smashing, but that's another move right there. Live steam moves here. Yeah, a little bit of delay because I'm talking, but this is what you're going to be able to come to expect from me sitting here by maybe we might get some people to come on the show. Maybe the chat. I don't know. You guys already you're going to have to carry me. Tigers and the Dodgers here with Olsen and Miller in this one. The only late game today. This is a kind of a standalone game. It's going to be given the situation, you're going to see some higher volume here. No games go off at night. I mean, 7:45 is the last one before that with the Brewers game. So this is kind of a standalone game here on Wednesday night where you don't have much else going on. This is going to be the main attraction. Bobby Miller, 4.02 ERA, 4.56 in his last 4 starts. Dodgers have won 6 of his last 8 starts, and the Dodgers just keep rolling. They've won 6 of their last 7. Detroit, they come in here having played pretty solid of late, and that was a great game yesterday, 3-2 final there. I thought there'd be more runs, and I kind of feel like there might be runs today, but the steam's already come in, on the under here. I wanted to go over, but I'm kind of worried right now considering the low score in yesterday's game and a pitcher like Miller. Okay, maybe his numbers aren't as good of late. He still has a 4 ERA. He's definitely come back to the pack a little bit, but he's got to figure somewhere in the Dodgers postseason pitching plans at this point, even if it's out of the bullpen. For Olsen, he has a 1.37 ERA in his last 3 starts for Reese Olsen. Detroit's gone 5-2 in his last 7 starts. For as bad as this team has been, Detroit, they are a 500 team on the road. So, kind of help. All right, chat. This one helped me. Jakia says Dodgers run line. All right. I guess I could, but I really feel like Detroit's going to compete here in this game. And after a while, I mean, how much do the Dodgers, they're 4 games back, 3.5 games back of Atlanta right now, but Atlanta's playing pretty darn well, even though the Dodgers have this 5-game winning streak right now. Just, I don't know, feels like Tigers can get in there and hang in there in a 1-run game. I'm going to take the Tigers. Take the Tigers on the run line. I think that was pretty chalky. Give me a dog here. They probably won't win. The Dodgers win every game. Like I said, I hardly ever give out the Dodgers because they really are still always too. But I'll bet on them. Is that a fair thing to say on a show like this? I can't give them out, but I'll bet on some overpriced favorite because they keep winning. Where do I draw the value and say, why don't I just make these premium plays? Chiquia's got the Dodgers run line. Okay, thank you so much, you guys. That's the baseball. You're free to go if this is a baseball show, but I've got WNBA and I've got the biggest matchups in college football night games coming up. 6 big game. I think 6. Maybe it was 5. I don't know. But 3 of them involve top 20 matchups, and I'm going to give you a pick, maybe side and total on some of them. Big matchups. But none bigger than this one tonight between the Sun and the Lynx. You know what happens when you don't win, when you don't sweep the team at home in the WNBA playoffs? You got to go on the road to try to win in the WNBA playoffs. And that's going to be a tough task here, given the fact that the Lynx won the last game. Wish we had Mindy right now. She could help us out here. She just smashes these. Like, if anything, our lasting legacy. I mean, we had winners, these weren't actually Team Steam winners yesterday, but to say that, Mindy gave out Washington, they certainly hung in there, forced that game in overtime. Well, I keep saying that. I gave out the under was a loser, but it was 153 in regulation, 10 points, I think, under the total. And then they scored like 23 points in overtime. So can't call it a win, but I'm just trying to make this best of this situation. But in the Atlanta-Dallas game, Mindy gave out Dallas, and I gave out the over. So let me try it here with the Sun and the Lynx. I'm probably going to go with the favorite is what I'm thinking in this one. See here if this is, I'm sure this is the current line right now. There hasn't been much change. It opened, what did it open? This is the one where she would just carry me, you guys. 5.5, 157 is the total right now. So point decline. And I wanted, remember, my first instinct during the whole introduction we had to the WNBA playoffs was I wanted to go under. Well, you know what? There's been some scoring. But at least I was able to get on top of it, at least with one game yesterday, and it did go well over. So I think here right now my play is on Connecticut. I think they'll understand the importance, significance of this matchup right here. And I'm going to take them in this one. Connecticut, they've not been doing well in covering right now, but neither of the Lynx. Lynx have covered just 3 of their last 4. Big time under City with these two, but I might be holding that back. Connecticut has gone under in 8 of their last 11. Minnesota's gone under in 3 straight. And I do think these WNBA playoffs are going to have some unders. This might be a game 3. This is it. I mean, this is the deciding game. And the dog gets to be at home. All right. Appreciate that. Looks like nobody has anything here. Let's talk college football. I've got 7 games. Hope I'm ready. Hope you're ready. Because these are some of the best games coming up this weekend, including Oregon State and Washington. Oregon State on the road here. Oregon State -2, and the total 56. Got 2 good quarterbacks. Do you know that the Pac-12 so far has the quarterbacks in the Pac-12? I want to say this is what it. I'm going to see if I can call this up here. The quarterbacks in the Pac-12 have a 41-1. They passed for 41 touchdowns and 1 interception. That's all the quarterbacks combined in the league. Not bad. So this is the Pac-2 championship game. These 2 teams a couple weeks ago, they were ready to. I think they're still going to sue the remnants of the Pac-12 conference. You'd think that they should get some money out of those other schools for leaving them hanging, right? There were probably bylaws and stipulations and contracts and everything, but it doesn't seem quite right. And now the Oregon State and Washington State are going to get stuck with all the bad teams out here in some weird conference. So, but both teams come in undefeated into this one. Man, you remember when you look at Tagovailoa right now, I mean, it looks like a pretty good decision. This is what he should have been doing all along. Stay on the West Coast. This is a good matchup, man. Oregon State, not good as a road favorite, though. But they don't, they're not road favorites very often. This is Oregon State we're talking about here. So I know there's some sharp guys certainly on Oregon State, but I'm probably going to be on Cougs. Probably going to be on the Cougars here. Taking the points in this one. Cougars won last week against Northern Colorado. They had 718 yards. Okay, I know they were playing the Bears, but 43-point victory. Also, Washington State, now they get a chance to be a home dog once in a while, and they've covered 6 of their last 8 times, including once already this season. Remember, Wisconsin came in here as a 5-point favorite, and then Washington State got the upset. So I hate to there's some sharp guys, man, on Oregon State. I can't believe I'm going to be against them here, but I'm going to be on Washington State in this one. I'm going with the Cougs. I'm going against Thomas Lewis. Oh, my gosh. That rarely happens. Doesn't it, Thomas, right? I always joke like, oh, Thomas just waits for not that you would ever do that. I'm always, Thomas just waits for my pick and then he goes with it. No, it's because we're on the same side. We're good handicappers, but not this one. We're going against each other, Thomas. And I'm going to take Washington State. This should be all, I just feel like it's almost a coin flip, and I'm getting the 2 points is kind of what it feels like to me. Let me also do want to check if I can. Just bear with me one moment. I think I typed these lines. I was planning for a show with Mindy, you guys, and I typed in the matchups days ago, and here we go. So current 2.5 now. 2.5. I'm getting 2.5. You can grade me at 2. And total here 56. Open 54.5. Moving forward, I might be just going live with I don't know. I keep saying that after 2 weeks, but Sundays at 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific for sure. I'm going to be on live reciting the opening lines from the circa and the immediate line move from the circa. Maybe I'll come on, but really it's just me doing play-by-play for 5 guys, so or gals, but not enough traction maybe with that show. But I'm going to be here for those live lines. We're going to record it and chop it up, and I think it is interesting. So go back and watch that video if you can here on Tony's channel. I think it's called Sunday Football, but there's another one where it's called Opening Line Moves, and in this one, just to mention, it opened 54.5 and is now 56. I'm going to take Washington State. Let's move on to Arkansas and LSU. All right. In this one, the Hogs are getting big points, minus 18. It opened minus 17. The look ahead for this game over the summer was like 13.5. So it's been a pretty significant move, especially with what we've seen right now from LSU a little bit and their kind of growth offensively with my man Daniels. I like Daniels. I hope he continues to progress. Can they get a blowout victory? No, I don't think so. I think I'm more interested in Arkansas here as an underdog. Like I said, open. Is it still? That's 17.5 right now. Let me update that. Let's give a fair price here because I want Arkansas in this one. Plus 17.5. The total is down to 55.5. And the total opened 55 and went immediately up to 57. And now has gone back down to 55. So I'm interested in the Hogs here against LSU. I do like Daniels. Moving forward, I like him. No doubt. But I just think this is going to be too many points. I feel like in this one. I think the Hogs stay in here. All right. Next up is Memphis and Missouri. You have 2 teams undefeated here meeting. Both teams are 3-0. This one's being played in St. Louis. So not quite a neutral site. I'm showing Missouri is down to a 5.5 point favorite in this total over the last couple of days. Like I said, I entered these. So you got a little bit of reaction to these line moves from a couple of days ago. It's all the way down to 51.5 here with Memphis and Missouri. I think that's getting – look, it opened 8. We were on the air when it opened 8. It quickly moved down to 6, and now it's under that key number of 6. I already was interested in Missouri in this one. That's probably going to be enough to get me on Missouri here, I would think, in this one. I know Memphis isn't going to be happy with the situation. There was some hubbub about the playing of this game. Missouri was going to actually pay Memphis to cancel the game or something to that effect. So these teams have played before. It was 5 years ago, but Missouri did win by 32 points, and in that game, both teams were 3-0 at the time. So I'm not saying it's going to be a repeat performance here. Memphis is rested. They beat Navy 10 days of rest, not an extra week, but they beat Navy, remember, 28-24, but they were 13.5 point favorites. We were on Navy in that one. Yeah, Missouri's coach, he's not too good as a favorite, but I'm going to have to look at it here from the perspective of getting the under that key number of 6. I liked Missouri already. Memphis does pretty well against Power 5 teams and could be a dead spot for Missouri. And I'm sure maybe that's why sharps are moving on Memphis here, but I'm on Missouri. They're playing a non-conference game. I don't know what that hubbub was actually. Thomas will say take Missouri. I think Memphis, they were willing to pay to get out of the game and move the game or something to that effect. Here is a great one. Sure, we'll all be checking this one out when Ohio State goes into Notre Dame and is a field goal favorite right now still. Yeah, total is up to 45.5 and feels like they're, I feel like the move might be correct here, even though it's moving higher. A little bit to my chagrin, I would actually say. But the Buckeyes here -3. need Mindy right now to be queuing this one up. All right, here we go. This is pretty much where it opened. A few places, yeah, it's touched 3.5. There was, a few places maybe it even touched 2.5. It quickly went back to 53. The total opened 51.5, was immediately bet up to 53.5, and now obviously sitting at 55.5. So the line over the summer was Ohio State -7.5, but man, I mean, this is like a new Notre Dame almost. I don't want to say the offense is back, but it's been looking good. They met last year in Columbus. It was the first time the teams had met in 55 years, 56 years, something like that. It was a great game. Remember, Notre Dame led 10-7 at halftime, but the Buckeyes scored 2 touchdowns in the second half, and Notre Dame couldn't get going at all in that game. They had just 72 total yards in the second half. 21-10 was the final, but the Bucks did not cover. They were favored by 16.5. Ohio State put up 562 yards in that game last week against Western Kentucky. They won by 53 points as a 30-point favorite. So the Buckeyes are second in college football, allowing just 7 points per game. Really looking good, but now you're taking on Sam Hartman. Who'd have thought? Maybe Notre Dame should be the destination for all these quarterback prospects from around the country. You don't want to end up at some school where it looks like they can't find quarterbacks anymore. Maybe the tide is turning here, so to speak. Notre Dame 6-2 against the spread as a home dog. Doesn't happen very often. Maybe once a year, maybe. They have a pretty tough schedule on some time, other than the usual suspects that come in. They'll have a big game once in a while at home. This is it. You want to beat Ohio State here for sure. So they need a statement win for this coach. Feel like it's going to just be a nail biter. It's going to be so close. I was talking about that total moving higher. It feels almost like it's actually getting away. Maybe I want to trust the defenses a little bit. I won't go all wishy-washy, I don't think, but I might be on the Irish here in this one. Getting a field goal, probably be decided by a field goal, one way or the other. Hartman's it's not like some, like Notre Dame prospect quarterback that ends up going to some other school. That's why Hartman's here. Everybody knew coming in. Hartman was, Daryl says upset. I wonder if there's an acronym for what Daryl is saying there. What upset, the acronym upset could stand for. Yeah, I would think I was trying to think of something. All right. Here is a one we really could use Mindy on right now. Sorry, Mindy. Iowa and Penn State. You got Penn State here, 2-touchdown favorite against the Hawkeyes. The total's 41. What? Are they only going to play a 50-yard game? We know Penn State's been pretty awesome, so maybe they're going to score the points and make this one go over. It opened 39.5, went all the way up to 41. Still feels like, how are they going to get there? Penn State used to pretty much win the games, but Iowa's been the one. Iowa's had success against Penn State of late. What was it? They came in here and beat them 3 years ago, 41-21, in like it was a pick'em. Somebody was favored, but it was like one. I thought it was a pick'em. And they went in here and crushed them. So, with the Lions so far, 3-0 straight up, of course, 3-0 against the spread. They're giving up just 12 points a game and holding teams under 100 yards rushing. McNamara, Beno, it looks like he's the guy. I mean, 2 touchdowns. Maybe he's a guy that can keep you in there, but he had only 103 yards. And the Hawkeyes can't even pass the ball very well. Penn State's stronger against the run, no doubt about that. And I'm not paying attention to the whiteout. I mean, it'll look cool on TV. It's not going to be just as crazy there. I don't know. Maybe Iowa can. Iowa's got to put up some points. I want to take these points and go over, but I don't. But 41, just because Penn State's a big favorite is kind of why I want to go over. Now, if it was a game, maybe if it was in Iowa, I would be tempted to go under. And we've seen some crazy unders so far, but I don't know if Penn State we can get an under here. So I'm going to go Iowa, and I'm going to go over in this one. It's got to be a free pick. I mean, I can't consciously go over in a premium, could I? I want to go Iowa, take the points, and an over. Right, Thomas, right? Well, let me see. Let me think about it, right? So that's just it. When you're dealing with a total of 41, so you're looking at something in, 28-10, 28-14, 31-14, 31-10, 31-17, 28-10, 28-13, 27-13, right in there. Can Penn State get 4 touchdowns in this game? Some field goals, I would take it over. I'm going to take Iowa, and I'm going to take the over in this one. So, Penn State defense been very strong, man. Okay, interesting matchup here. Central Florida and Kansas State. Got Kansas State here favored in this one, -5. And the total has gone down considerably over the first couple of days of the markets, down to 53.5. 4-point move to the under, and K-State falling underneath that key number here now of 5. All right, let me grab this one, you guys, with Kansas State at home. 5-point favorite, total 55.5. This one opened Kansas State -8 and has steadily been bet down now to this number. It opened 8, was immediately bet down to 7. Steam came in, went to 6.5, now 5. That's good enough for me. I want Kansas State. I like the fact that this has moved in the direction that I'm looking to get involved with. I prefer the Wildcats here in this one. Look, the steam came in on Central Florida. I can respect that, but Kansas, to me, you got a Kansas State team. This coaching staff, it looks like it's been a seamless transition here so far over the couple of seasons, right? Kansas State and over here. This total, it opened 48.5. No doubt there was some problem here with that, but it was immediately bet up to 55.5, went as high as 57.5, and now is back down to 53.5. So I'm not sure what to make of that. Maybe there was some personnel issues. Plumlee, I don't know. I could check it right now. I mean, I don't think he's a situation with Plumlee or anything. I mean, we know we've seen him on the list, but I don't want to waste too much time here. I'm almost done with the show. Appreciate you guys. I'll be smoother tomorrow, okay? All right. Well, I was hoping to get a little bit of data here on the injury report and see if because that is a pretty wide move on the total. Plumlee's okay, yeah. And well, this service is listing Plumlee is out with that leg injury. I guess he is. So things have been a little hectic, let's just say. And we know that Will Howard, we already knew that he was questionable. So maybe the total's high. I mean, this is Kansas State at home. They do have a number of players out in this game. So that's probably where the move has come. I don't know. I want Kansas State. I'm not worried if some players are getting disciplined or whatever the case may be, but I think I've got the coaching staff to handle it a little bit here. Oops, Thomas said Kansas State. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to take Kansas State here in this one. And finally, more Pac-12 action. I've been joking for 2 weeks now about no wonder the rest of the conferences want the teams from the Pac-12. You got the best quarterbacks in the country. Look, we knew I'm not necessarily a West Coast honk because I'm, an SEC guy. I know I know things are slipping. I know the landscape is changing, and maybe it's already been changing. And the West Coast, they haven't gotten their just due in all those matchups, and that's why the Pac-12 was fighting so hard. Why they ended up in the situation that they're in, I'm not sure, but a lot of teams are going to be getting more exposure, and I expect the Pac-12 teams to go in and be strong teams in those new conferences right away. And maybe just Oregon State and Washington State can find a way, and show this season what they're made of. But they're without a home. I'm not sure any of these other conferences are willing to open their doors now, given they've loaded up on all these teams. But all right. Anyways, Cal's been the big surprise this season. Let me check this line too. Yeah, it's down to 21, and the total 59.5. But maybe it just goes to show you. I mean, even Cal, we talked about how hard it is for Cal to, work the transfer portal. A little bit more difficult for Cal, but maybe not. And it's 3 touchdowns. Total's been dropping to 59.5. That's scary. I like the under. I like the under for sure here. But Cal's done a great job so far. They beat, North Texas. They beat Idaho. I get it. Not great, but they lost at home to Auburn, but they covered in that one. So, meanwhile, the Huskies, they've been pretty strong. They're averaging some big-time points. They're outscoring teams by like 5 touchdowns a game right now. They beat Michigan State on the road. They crushed them, right? No, Michigan State's got all these issues, so they were not ready for that one for sure. Penix, Mindy said before she left, Penix, she rated him very, very high, and why not? Again, just these Pac-12 quarterbacks in general. He has 4 touchdowns in that game last week. Last year was UW winning 28-27 as a 7.5 point favorite. Came real close to the number. Washington's very, very good, we know. But Cal has found their way into some success here as well. And Cal 13-3 against the number as a road dog over the last 5 seasons. So I'm on Berkeley. I'm on Cal. I might as well just give out the under as well right here on the show because 59.5. It opened 64.5, was immediately bet down to 62, then saw 61, now down to 59.5. So let me just give it out as a free play right here, right now on the new Morning Steam show. And that'll wrap it up, I believe, unless anybody else. Sometimes we'll talk about more of the landscape of sports that I like to as well, that I like to cover. Some tennis action, soccer, of course. Not today, but I know there's some great soccer, some great matchups yesterday, certainly. We're not covering championship leagues here necessarily. We're covering picks in domestic soccer here on Tony'sPicks.com right now, major domestic leagues, but not UEFA Champions League. A little bit, we're working on that, but try to get you some plays maybe somehow, some way, because I had a pretty strong day yesterday in that as well, of course. So, all right, appreciate everyone so much. Thank you so much. Again, thank you to Mindy, to her family, to Jerry as well, who made it possible for me to spend so much time with Mindy on the show. You're going to see more of her moving forward. You're going to see more of me, like it or not. And look, I know that Mindy's a big part of our family, and not as much viewership when she's not going to be here. We'll try to build it back up. I'll be here every day in this time slot. That's all to me. It's not about her not being here. I just want to get the best live information at this time of the day, kind of before all the other shows start. I want to get up early and get you the info, get you those steam moves, even when you're watching on replay, kind of what happened in the morning on the landscape when the betting markets were kind of getting rolling. So that's what we're going to cover here on the morning steam. All right. Got one steam move for you right now. It's in the NFL. And if you're interested, the Houston Texans are taking action right now. Looks like they're going to get it off that 10, believe it or not, this week in that matchup. So Houston Texans are the move right now here in that game this week. So just want to point that out. It was at 10. And it is now 9.5. It looks like in that Texans Jaguars game. We know it opened much lower than that, and then went all the way up to as high as 10. All right, let me actually make sure I got that right. Here at the end of the show. All right, appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody here. Yeah, right. It had gone all the way up to 10 from that opener of 7 this week. Mostly based on, there's several injuries right now for Houston. Nothing big note there, but all right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate you guys so much. We'll keep rolling here. I just want to thank you guys for sticking with me. I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam.